Scene 6, the monastery. Dolji enters the monastery. He sees Lama Kunchen in his monk's robes, tied and sitting quietly, mouth covered.
Oh, I expected you, Dorji. Your friend, Lama Kunchen, is quiet today. I questioned him, but he seems to grow cold and have no answers. He asked for help from you. Perhaps I could spare him, if you will stay away from our sweet Sang Moon.
What does it mean to Lama Kunchen for you to steal Sun Mu's heart? Does the moon grow closer to the sun? Sun Mu will never get close to your black soul, Wilge.
Dorji, she will run to me. You need me.
Yang Wu directs Dolji to go into the center of the next room.
Tie his hands and leave. Dorji wants a private conversation with me.
Chen ties Dolji, then goes out reluctantly.
Dorji, why do you think you're not in prison now or executed? You are defiant, arrogant, and I tire of your boyish games. Sagnu, beautiful Sagnu. She would hate to see you dragged off. Haunted still by the memory of her parents, you betray our homeland. For that alone, you should face death.
I stand here facing you, telling you I will not reject the Dharma, Liang. Lama Kunchen prepared me. I am focused on peace. My ancestors' tradition will not be forgotten. Your soldiers' weapons are not strong enough to water the flames of my beliefs.
Enough! Do you hear me?
Dolji remains calm and quiet, which makes Liang Wu angrier.
Lama Kunchen, behind bars, how many years will you look out of his prison cell?
Liang, let me speak now. You will want to hear my words. Lama Kunchen's life comes before my own, and you must not harm him. In return for this promise from you, I will turn away from Sang Mu's affections and let Lama Kunchen know of my wishes to become a monk. One more thing. No one must know of this. Understand?
We are agreed.
He takes out a knife and cuts free Dolji's hands. Dolji departs, devastated, thinking.
Sang Mu, my Sang Mu. There was no other way. I have betrayed you. To save Lama Kunchen. My feet travel the paths of samsara, reflecting pain and suffering that can't be escaped unless nirvana. I will miss you, Sang Mu, in the sunshine and in the moonlight. The decision is done. You will never be mine.
Chen, alone in darkness, outside the door to the monastery.
I work to honor the motherland, and will surpass Liang soon. My place is not beneath his feet, for I am worthy. I am deserving. I am Chen. You will see soon, Liang Wu, very soon.
Chen pulls out his sword and begins to fence with his shadow in a show of bravado. Do the things you need to do. Every path will not come back to you. Dolji's room studio.
I take Lama Kunchen the painting. I will tell him. I am now his student. I must be convincing, though the decision comes from Liang Wu's hands. No choice, except to protect Lama Kunchen from Liang's chains. He never failed me. Now the wheel has turned. Sang Mu, my tears fall onto a pathway of stone. Your fears become truth.
Sang Mu's room. Pema is brushing Sang Mu's hair.
This feeling I have, Pema, what is it? Love?
Love. Music that only your heart can know.
Outside Liang Wu's office. Chen is walking briskly on the way to the office where Liang Wu is working, behind a desk in a small office space, doing paperwork. He enters.
Liang, I am ready. I follow each of your orders. It is time to raise my rank.
How many times do you ask? How many? You annoy me, Chen. I'm at work now, so leave me to it. Can't you see I am busy? You distract me with standing there.
Chen, sighing, exits the door.
Busy. He wants me to learn, but gives me nothing but physical labor. The work of Tibetans.
Chen paces in front of the office, talking to himself.
I will follow his orders every day. He knows from what he sees, I am a better soldier, wiser, stronger, emotionally, physically. Power rules his judgment. If he advances me, he fears soon I will have his position. So he keeps me as his rickshaw boy. My temper flares when I hear Lian Zhu, Lian Zhu.
Chen goes back into Liang's office.
Remember that night, the night we drank whiskey? You told me too much, Liang. Alcohol does that to a man. Poor Sang. She saw her parents taken away. With little thought, you ordered their execution. Where was your soul that day, Liang?
No more of that, Chen. What are you saying? I am your commander.
Sangmu was waiting to hear from me. I sent word by Yonten. Oh, how she will cry and mourn, and after, I tell her it was you, Liang. But
You blackmail me, Chen?
I understand you can request a transfer back to China. That would leave your position open for someone like myself.
Traitor! You betrayed me, bastard! Out, Chen! Out! I can no longer look into the face of a traitor.
If you don't come to me by tomorrow, I go to Sangmu. Goodbye.
Chen slams the door. As he leaves, Liang hangs his head down, then distraughtly paces around his desk. He takes out a piece of paper and begins to write. Above him, the face of Sun appears. He seals the letter with wax.
You
You cannot see it.
You
You cannot hear it.
The drums sound from the deepest stillness. The compass you listen. More than you need.
You lose yourself.
You wake up in the morning and in an instant, nothing is the same.
Liang exits the door with the letter in his hand. Vegetables stand near river. Liang Wu walks up to Sangwoo's stand and sees a long Tibetan scarf of Sangwoo's. He picks it up and puts it to his face, tenderly, then lays the letter down where she will find it on arrival. Taking the scarf, he walks back towards the bridge where the bodies were found. It is sunset and he sees a couple, Tibetans, throwing lotus blossoms into the river, a tribute to their loved ones. He takes a few steps towards the bridge, as though he planned to go over to it, then looks down at the scarf and turns slowly and walks into the edge of the woods beside the bridge. He watches the Tibetans grieve.
Where is my honor? There is none. Sangmu, what may have been. Chen is right. My heart pumps death. What have I done to her? What have I done to them?
Liang takes Sangwoo's Tibetan scarf and twists and tightens it around his neck with a stick, asphyxiating himself. Liang Wu sits on the ground, leaning against a tree, and slowly his oxygen wanes. As his life slips away above him, he sees and remembers the execution of Sangwoo's parents, and finally her face. Hold the shroud of death around your face, and hungry people will hunt you. The Tibetan couple discover Liang's body in the woods. They feel his pulse. He is dead. Others walking by begin to come up to the scene also, whispering.
Is this Liang Wu? Cold hands have no power. He's a ghost.
A hand holds the knife, the executioner cuts deeply. A hand that holds her children, can she cut straight? Can we know what the master of change will know? When the laws of the land become important, people are not afraid to face the rifle. The string of life is pulled tight, the breath is short, the rose bends to the earth, broken in the wind. A tree is crushed underfoot. Search the land, hold the food, while people scratch with empty hearts and wordless voices. A strange tone, alone inside the home, keeps the voices muffled to rot.
As the song is sung, people begin to gather. Someone is sent for Chen, and he and the soldiers stand around Liang's body. A Tibetan throws another lotus flower into the river. We'll take a small break.